The slope that they're on right now is in fact freaking steep. You can see it from here, and Chris is on it right now.
When failure is not an option, when Fortune 100 CEOs, Super Bowl champions, U.S. government covert ops teams, and Wharton MBA administrators need to inspire their leaders, build high-performance teams, grow their business, and improve the lives of their staff, the solution is Chris Warner.
I have worked with some of the best teams in the world. I kind of consider myself a little bit of an anthropologist in great teams. I work with teams, covert ops, special ops teams, entrepreneurial teams that are always under-resourced. And the number one thing that they bring to any challenge is the behavior of the team. And they know, for some of these groups, that if they are not successful, somebody will die. And it might result into a gigantic international incident that could put the United States in grave danger itself. So they have to be successful.
Chris Warner is an international icon of high-altitude mountaineering, one of only a handful of Americans to summit both Everest and K2 and live to tell about it.
12 hours in, this is definitely the hardest 12 hours I've ever had in the mountains. Coldest day we've had so far, as for certain. Everything's just icing up. Must be 20 below zero. Winds gusting up to 60 miles an hour and blowing snow non-stop.
An expert on building high-performance teams, Warner has successfully led over 200 international expeditions into some of the world's most hostile environments, and along the way, he's literally written the book on leadership. Warner's message and his methods have been refined in high-risk environments in which constant adjustment, complete collaboration, and clear thinking are critical to staying alive.
Well, after 3 weeks on the ridge, it seems like we've hit the ultimate dead end. And then we have to get off the ridge, go one way or the other. It just doesn't seem like it's worth the risk. It's no matter how we're doing it, putting ourselves in total Russian roulette. And for those of us who have more to live for than just this mountain, it might be time to head down and find another way to get to the top.
An Emmy-nominated filmmaker, TV host, and renowned storyteller, Warner uses dramatic video and gripping real-life stories to reveal and inspire the kind of behaviors that lead to ultimate success.
When we dig deeper into great teams, we find that everybody on the team is passionate. So passionate, they're going to put their mission of the organization ahead of their personal desires.
Every high-performance team understands that the whole is greater than the parts, right? And the two most important words in any partnership, whether it's a marriage or anything else, are trust and caring.
Warner has achieved unparalleled success against what at times have seemed insurmountable odds.
So this is mountaineering at its worst. Here we are trapped in a freaking tent in a snowstorm. The wind's been blowing all night long. We're dehydrated. We haven't eaten hardly enough to sustain the energy that we've been using the last couple of days.
Chris builds the behaviors that save lives and ensures success, and he's seen firsthand the behaviors that lead to dysfunction, failure, and in many cases, to death.
It's been pretty dramatic so far. The Korean team was ahead of us. They were all on oxygen, and one of their Sherpas fell down the south face to his death. And I don't think we'll ever find his body.
By the time the day was over, 10 people would be dead. By the time the week was over, 15 people would be dead.
Warner guided the first ever reality TV show on Mount Everest and has been featured on nearly every major network, including NBC.
I don't want to play against an opponent that is less than me. I want to play against an opponent that is greater than me.
He's also a successful entrepreneur who turned a $500 investment into a company serving over 750,000 customers each year while growing revenue over 20% every year, a company with over 250 highly engaged employees.
Do you know the #1 reason why people quit an organization? Because they don't trust their boss. You have to be trustworthy.
One of the world's top motivators, Chris Warner, has taken teams of non-climbers to the summits of some of the world's highest peaks.
Chris kind of laid the foundation for the whole trip on the very first day. He set the tone for it when he said that you're going to bury your ego. We're all a team. This is based on love. We're all going to help each other get up.
Well, you know, the statistics to get to the top of this thing are about 25 to 30%. So, how do you get all 16 of us to the summit? Well, it takes a couple of things. Obviously, we have to be physically strong, but more importantly, we have to love each other. And it was really love that got everybody up here, because everybody's willing to work extra to get somebody else, you know, to make their life a little bit easier on the way to the top. And that's why I love doing these trips, because you just see people come together and just care so much about each other and make their dreams possible.
He is unbelievable. He is one of the most inspirational, awe-inspiring people I've ever met.
He's a wizard at collecting the optimism that people have, right? You can have the optimism and not know what to do with it. He's very good at collecting it and focusing it on the goal.
The whole time that I was climbing on Everest, climbing on K2, I was working with a lot of what we could call mission-critical teams. I had done a lot of work with the U.S. intelligence agencies, the Defense Intelligence Agency, the National Counterterrorism Task Force, the Office of Director of National Intelligence. I was also working very closely with Wharton. I was teaching leadership for their MBA candidates and working with lots of other groups. And what we were studying during this time period was, how do mission-critical teams perform?
He's a great storyteller, and he really brings a great business message to his presentations.
Chris Warner's delivery of the presentation was the most amazing part. He kept you on the edge of your seat, wondering how he was going to pull it all together at the end.
Pulling it all together in a dramatic, data-driven presentation with a practical application that leads to high performance, that's Chris Warner.